my goodness. Can y'all hear me okay? Can I get a thumbs up in the chat? Say hello. Sure can. Hey, I have like a bunch of Austin and Hill Country friends here. Hello. Guys, we have a global audience, and y'all, there's over 1,000 of you registered today. It's going to be a really packed class. So, welcome to our masterclass today, all about checkout. I am really excited for this one because every masterclass we do, there's always some questions about checkout. And this time we get to dedicate the entire hour to checkout and talk about all of the amazing features it has. I'm also going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek in what's coming here soon. And we're going to just dive in. Hello. High five to Flodesk for letting us test out checkout. You are so welcome. We had so many questions. So many people wanted to know like how it works. So we said, you know what? Why don't you just try it for yourself? So now until the end of our what we call Bye Bye Unlimited, you will be able to try out checkout. So make sure you check that out. Check out. Make sure you guys try that out while you can. And we are sunsetting the unlimited plans at the end of November. So if this is something that you really love, take advantage of this now and get on the unlimited checkouts as well before that plan goes away. So, okay, we have a lot to cover today. Hi, Portia. Oh my gosh, I see friends in here. I see new faces. Y'all, there's a lot of you in this room. So say hello in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Today, I am joined by two of my amazing coworkers, Erin and Petra. If you are in our Facebook group, you have very likely met Petra. She is a real person, I promise. Last time people thought she was not real. One of these days, we're going to get her to join us on here with camera. Are you up for that, Petra? But Petra is here and Erin is here. They're both incredible members of our member experience team. They will be helping me today in the chat and also in the Q&A section. And that's the part that I want to point out next. On your Zoom screen, wherever it is on your screen, probably the bottom, there is a section that says Q&A, okay? Q&A. If you have a question, guys, like I said, there's over 1,000 of you registered for this today. There's a lot of you in here. We are not able to track the chat for our questions. If you have a question, please drop it into the Q&A section, okay? Please drop it there. If there's a quick answer, Petra and Erin are going to go ahead and tackle that for you. And then at the end, we'll have some time for Q&A and we'll go through some of those questions or I'll answer some other questions that are still in there. So please use the Q&A section. And again, don't drop your questions in the chat. Drop it into the Q&A so we don't lose track of it, okay? All right. So, couple of things here. I'm going to go ahead. Can you guys see my Flodesk screen okay? Everybody good there? I see it on mine, making sure you're good. I got two screens going here. So if I look like I'm not looking at you, I promise I'm looking at the other screen. Okay. So, oh, also, this is recording. Okay. So we are recording, just making sure it's actually recording. It is recording. We are recording this. I will be sending out the replay when we are done. So if you have to jump off or if you get distracted or if your dog needs to go outside, whatever that is, I will be sending you the replay. You can watch it over and over again. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Now, with checkout, okay, we want to get started. This is very exciting. Flowdesk has a platform that you can sell on. Okay, so if you have a digital product, a membership, or a service, we've had members use it for courses. We've had some really cool communities use it. We've seen it. I saw a link the other day that there was a TEDx event that was actually using checkouts to sell their tickets. There are so many different ways you can use checkout. And a lot of those platforms out there can be really complicated, really confusing. I know before Flowdesk was even around, I was using different platforms as well, and it can get really complicated. So I love that checkout is beautiful, easy to use, and the best part, guys, you do not need a website. So if you're somebody that's just getting started, or if you want to test out things without opening a whole storefront, you can do so with Flodesk Checkout. No website is required. So we're going to start off with that. Now, I'm going to be jumping between two different screens here, okay? I'm just going to be super transparent with you guys. With Stripe, which is what we're going to talk about here in a minute, test accounts are a little weird. So I have my test account connected to one account, and I didn't want to disconnect it because I don't want it to break. So I'm going to jump between two different accounts. But I'm going to show you some of these settings on my test account and then some of them in our production environment. So that's why you'll see me jump between two screens. Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about are the settings for checkout, okay? This is the core. Checkout will not work until you have this part set up, okay? To access those checkout settings, you click on your icon here on the top right, and then you go to Checkout Setup, okay? So here is where you're going to get connected, okay? We run checkout on Stripe. That is the only payment processor we currently offer, okay? So we use what's called Stripe Standard. This is the full version of Stripe. When you connect your Stripe account, you will be building what looks like a new account in Stripe, okay? But it's not a new account. You're just connecting the storefront to Stripe. Stripe, a few years ago, changed how they do connections, and they have this connect called Stripe Connect. And every time you connect a storefront, whether that be Flodesk Checkout or Thrivecart or whatever, it's going to create a new account. So each of those connections has its own account within your Stripe account. So when you log in, if it starts asking you questions about your business, totally normal, totally expected, okay? So no, Gemini, I don't want to try you in Google Chrome right now. So when you go through that process, it does take a few steps. There's a few tax questions that you have to validate for your business and all of that good stuff. But you're going to go ahead and walk through that process to get your Stripe connected, okay? Once it's connected, this is going to be the screen that you see, okay? Now, in your Flodesk checkout setup settings, you have your payment methods, okay? So earlier this year, we released Apple Pay and Google Pay. Super exciting. And guys, the numbers on how many more conversions our members are getting just through these methods is incredible. And I don't know about you guys, like, let's be real. If I'm checking out for something and then I have to go get my card, like, I will probably not finish the checkout. I am one of those people that's like, maybe next time. So make sure you turn those payment methods on. Also, if you are looking for buy now, pay later options, this is where you're going to find this. You can turn it on and off right here in your settings. If you do want to collect it, if you don't want to collect it, if you want to choose which of the buy now, pay later options you have, you can do that. You just have to do that through your Stripe dashboard, okay? And then here are your terms and conditions. So if you want to add that checkbox in your checkout, you can do so and then update your terms and conditions here. So those are our basic checkout settings. But again, you're not going to be able to collect payment until you go through this process. And you'll see when we jump over to my production account here, I don't have Stripe connected, so we won't actually be able to publish the checkout. But so if you want to experiment with it, you want to design your own page, you can do that without Stripe, but you will not be able to actually make it live until your Stripe account is connected. Okay? All right. We're going to move right on. Charisse, yes, there will be a replay available. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to jump over to this other account here and we're going to get started, okay? So I'm going to click on this checkouts tab right here at the top and you'll see a bunch of templates, okay? Now, checkouts are one product with an optional upsell, okay? Now, a lot of people are thinking like they might be looking for an experience very similar to like Shopify, where you have like 12 products on a page and you add things to cart. Checkout is not a cart software yet. Okay. It is not a cart software yet. Each page is its own product. It has the option for currently one upsell. Okay. And at this time, these checkouts can do single payments or recurring payments. So if you have a monthly or a quarterly or an annual subscription, you can do that in checkout. And today, this demo that I'm going to do with you, we're going to build a whole checkout, okay? This demo that I'm going to do with you today, we are going to build a recurring subscription together, okay? Surprise, Trina. There's lots of exciting things in store for checkout. One of them in the next few weeks, we will be having payment plans added to checkout. So if you have a high ticket item and you want to give us the option for payment plans, or if you're selling tickets to a conference or whatever that might be, you will be able to have payment plans here shortly. There's other cool features that are on the way, just to name a few, but I'm not going to spoil all the fun. So I will let that sit there and you guys can percolate on that a little bit. All right, so here we are in our checkouts, and you can see here we have some templates, and they are beautiful. You guys, our design team, they are incredible. I saw that we had some friends here in Spain. We have some amazing designers in Spain on the Flodesk team. They are incredible. We are all over the place. But you can see here that there are a ton of beautiful templates. Now, if you are somebody that actually does have a really robust website, okay, for my own business, I spent a lot of money on a custom web design that I'm very proud of. I love, and I actually have my sales pages on that website. Okay. Now, what I want to do for those, if I already have that website, I don't need this beautiful page that I'm going to build here in Flowdesk. So if you are somebody like that, you still have the option of a checkout only template. That way, I create the payment piece here, okay? I can say what my product cost is and what the upsells are. So when they click on the CTA on my website, if they click on the button, the buy now button, I will simply link it to this checkout and they can complete the checkout right here. So even if you are somebody that does have a website and you don't necessarily want to use the sales page piece of this, you can absolutely do that just by creating that simple checkout. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to pick one of these. I'm going to pick this one. Now, you can use any of these templates for any example here, okay? And, Terry, you asked, are these templates only tied to selling? So they are. However, you can sell a free product. So I have seen some incredible examples of checkouts where it's giving away something for free. It's a freebie. It's an opt-in. Signups for a webinar have been done through checkout. So there's a lot of really unique ways to use it. You don't necessarily have to charge for the product. Now, the only limitation I would say here is like when you actually they go to sign up, even if it's free, it says like buy now, the button does. So that's kind of like weird, but as long as you can get past that, you're good to go. And that's definitely something that the product team is paying attention to in terms of customizing it. Okay. Terry, you have to be on the email and checkout plan in order to use checkout. So we have 3 plans currently. We have the free plan, we have the email only plan, we have the email and checkout plan. Okay, so when I click on one of these examples, you'll see here at the top, there's 3 tabs, okay? So this is a preview page. This is what the template looks like, okay? I can click here to the checkout. This is what the checkout page looks like. And then after they make the payment, you can see what the delivery looks like. And we're gonna customize all 3 of these things today, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and click customize it. And we're gonna dive right in. So here we are. Does that look familiar, guys? If you have built a Flodesk email before, this might look a little familiar to you. You got your nice little right-hand panel to make any changes. And we also have these sections, what we call blocks here in Flodesk. Now, before we get started with the fun part, let's dive into the actual settings in our checkout, okay? So I'm gonna come over here to the setup button, okay? Important button. This is where all of the magic happens, okay? So let's say I am going to launch a monthly email template subscription, okay? I run a business called Tech Savvy Creative. We're an online resource for creatives, show you how to use your tech. Let's launch some email templates, okay? Now, for this example, we're going to be doing a recurring subscription, but I do want to show you the one-time payments before we dive in. So if you are somebody that does want to just sell something and that's it, it's not a recurring subscription, you're just going to click on this one-time tab, and then you'll see a few options here. You can set the price. So let's say the price of a one-time payment is $100. You can say it's on sale for $39, okay? You can choose that on, and when you do that, you can see right here how it crosses off the full price number and it shows the on sale number instead. You can also choose to make it free. So, like we talked about earlier, if you want to use checkout to make a more robust freebie page, you can absolutely do that. You just simply make the product free. Now, if you're selling something like a physical product or a ticket or something that has a limited number of seats available, you can limit the quantity here. Now, the cool thing is when you get when you get halfway to that quantity, you're going to get an email letting you know that you're halfway sold out. And then when you get closer to the end, you'll also get another email notifying you that you are about to sell out. Now, when you do limit your quantity, you can choose to allow a wait list to happen for those who do not get one. Okay. So let's say we're selling 10 candles. Okay. I have 10 candles available. I have 10 people sell them. What's going to pop up? You're going to be like, like you just missed it. You can add them to a different wait list segment. You can create a message right here that displays when there's no more available, but people can say that they're interested, get on a wait list, and then you have a segment of subscribers to email when you have more available. I am a huge fan of a wait list, so this is a great way to allow that. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the limited quantity. Now, also, if whatever you're selling has a limited time, like maybe it's something that you only offer for X number of days or until a certain date, you can go ahead and set an end date and time right here. And just like the limited quantity, if there's a limit on here or if there's an end date and they miss it or they run out, you can simply add them to a wait list by turning on the allow wait list and then creating or choosing a segment for that wait list. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and toggle all of these off right here. Now, just below that is where we're going to update our products information, okay? So this is going to give me the image. We're going to do this together here in a second. The name of the product, the description, and then also the segment somebody is added to when they make the purchase, okay? So that's where that's going to be. But I'm going to scroll up right here, go to recurring, and we're going to build a subscription together, okay? Again, so I'm going to build a email template subscription where I send a monthly template to whoever is in this membership. I want to offer a monthly option and I want to offer a annual option. Okay. In Flowdesk, you can choose between monthly, quarterly, or annually. Now, if you're looking for another type of repetition there, go ahead and make sure you go to updates.flowdesk.com and let us know. Add the request there. Our product team is always watching. I don't think Rob is in here today. He is on vacation, and I told him that if he logged into this webinar, that I would kick him out. Checking. I don't see him in here unless he's under a different name. But he will be watching this replay, guys. So he is super excited to connect with a lot of you. But if you are interested in any feedback, please make sure you add that to updates.flowdesk.com and we will get that prioritized when we can. Okay, I'm going to go monthly. So I want to update how much my monthly subscription costs. I want this to cost $20 a month. Okay. And then I don't want a quarterly one. So I can either delete this option here, or I can edit it, or I can just add another. I want to add an annual option. And I don't want it to be $349. 20 times 12 is $240. Let's give it a deal and make it $200 a year. Okay. So basically they're saving $40 if they go the annual subscription instead of the monthly. Then what happens is as that subscription comes up, they get charged automatically for that next payment. That is all handled through Stripe. They can cancel it by clicking on the link in their emails. You can cancel it in your Stripe dashboard. That can all be handled there. Now, if I wanted to add a quarterly option here, I could, but I'm not going to. And I'm going to go ahead and drag the annual one to the top because that makes that option the default, okay? I want people to take advantage of the better deal. I want them to spend $200 annually, so I'm going to make that the default option. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add an image. Now, here in our in checkout, as of recently, we have new options for our images. So you can add an image from your computer, which is what we're going to do today. But we also have Unsplash, Giphy, and our Canva integration is also available. So if you have graphics for what you're selling in Canva, you can easily connect that right here in the builder. Now I'm going to go ahead and I have some images. I spent my morning creating some graphics for my fake email templates. And then I have some copy over here. I'm going to name my subscription. It's called the Email Savvy Template Club. Perfect. Description. There we go. Y'all, this is what I did this morning, was all the copy and the pictures for all of this, okay? Now, when somebody signs up for this subscription, I want to make sure that I'm adding them to the segment, okay? I'm delivering my monthly emails via email. So I'm going to be sending them through a Flodesk email. So I'm going to be sending them to that segment of my subscribers, okay? Of the people that are in this membership who are paying for the subscription. So I'm going to come in here. If you don't already have a segment for it, you can simply type it and it will create the segment. But I already have a segment called Subscribed Email Savvy Template Club, just like that. So again, when somebody finishes the purchase, they will be added to this segment. This is the segment that I'm going to email every month in order to deliver what they're asking for, their monthly templates, okay? Okay, so we have got our product set up here. Before we move on to upsell, I'm going to take a look at the chat. So Kathy, Kathy, this is a alternative to Thrivecart. Checkout is an alternative to Thrivecart. Elena, I'm doing newsletters. Mostly have questions to that. Okay. Elena, if you want to send a message to support@flodesk.com, we can do that. And they can take a look at your account. Today's masterclass is all about checkout. There we go. Awesome. Guys, if you have questions, please drop them in the Q&A section and they will tackle it there. Beautiful. Okay, let's move on, okay? We're going to go on to the upsell. Now, you do not have to have an upsell, but if you want to offer something, even it could be free, you can give them a free guide or whatever it might be, you can do that here. So you see here on that tab, upsell, I'm going to go ahead and change it to not free. I want to give them access to my online community. That's what I'm going to do, okay? So I'm going to change this price. I am going to change it to $199. Or I can make it on sale. Actually, it's $2.99. I'm going to make it on sale, make it look like a good deal. It's going to be on sale for $199. And then I am going to add all of my details for my upsell here. There's the Tech Cantina. I have my title over here. Beautiful. Oh, this is the title. This is the top text here. You see where that went right here? So I would say special offer. All right. There we go. Oh, I'm glad that I did this earlier today. All this copy, because typing this in front of you would have been not fun. There we go. Okay, so now I have my details ready for my upsell. So when they buy the monthly templates, I'm giving them the option to also join the Tech Cantina for 6 months, okay? Now, this is not going to charge them every month, okay? This is just going to be in that first payment. But they will continue to be charged for the subscription each month. They're not going to be charged for the Cantina every month. That is a single payment option there. Okay, now we're moving on through our settings here. The next one is contact. So when they complete the checkout process, it's going to ask them what their first name, last name. You can turn off last name if you want to. If you don't want to collect their last name, that's fine. And then you can ask them for an opt-in message. So maybe you want to join your newsletter, or do they want to be notified for future shop updates and new products? Whatever that opt-in message is, you can add that here. So I'm going to say sign up for my monthly newsletter, month download, just like that. And if they check this box right here, when they check out, they will be added to this segment. So I have a segment for my monthly newsletter. If they don't check that box, they will still be added to the segment for the product that they purchased, but they will not be added to the segment for my newsletter. Okay. The magic of email marketing is all about getting the right message to the right person. Okay. And that is more important than ever. We're talking about deliverability in the chat. It is so important these days to make sure you're sending to people that actually want your emails. Okay. So important. So make sure you're not sending things to people that didn't sign up for something. Okay. If they did not sign up for your newsletter, don't send them your newsletter. So this is a great way to make sure that you are getting the notification from somebody that they want to receive whatever content it is that you put there. Okay, moving on to testimonial. At the bottom of the checkout page, there is the option for a testimonial. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. This is also optional. You do not have to add this section, but I'm going to just so you guys can see what it looks like. And then we'll say Petra said this. Thanks, Petra. That was so nice of you. I just have a cute little icon here. You can put a headshot of somebody there. It's totally up to you. But I just have a little cute icon, just like that. Nikki, yes, you can collect address. I'll show you how. Okay. Next, we're moving on to discounts. Discount section. Okay, so discounts are fun, okay? And they can get a little complicated depending on what you're offering. Petra wrote this incredible Help Center article all about discounts and what applies to what, okay? For this example, we are selling a monthly subscription, okay? And there is an option for an upsell. So there's two different things here, all right? So when I create one of these discounts, I have the option of saying, does this apply to all of the products, which is including the upsell, or does this only apply to the main product, which is the subscription, or does this only apply to the upsell? Okay, so you can create different combinations of these discounts. Okay, so I can say VIP first dibs is the name of this discount code. I'm going to call it first dibs. First. And I only want it to apply to the main product, which is my subscription in this situation. Okay. So my subscription is $20 a month. Okay. Now, for the discount type, I'm going to use a percentage because I want that to apply whether or not they chose an annual or they chose a monthly option for their subscription. So I'm going to choose a percentage and I'm going to come in here and type the number and then I'm going to make sure that's on. So if somebody uses the discount code First Dibs, they're going to get 20% off of their monthly subscription, or they're going to get 20% off of their annual subscription. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. Now I have an active code. If you ever need to go ahead and delete that, you can do so by deleting it. If you ever need to edit it, you can come in here and edit. You can deactivate it, but leave it there if you want to. It's totally up to you. You can see how many uses it has here as well. Okay, and then we're going to move on to our advanced section. Now, this is where you're going to modify the link for your checkout. Now, this first part of your link is actually in your account settings. Okay, we clicked on that icon on the top right. It looks like this is where you go when you click on that. You'll be able to modify your domain there in the account settings. Now, I want to make this pretty, so I'm going to call this email savvy, just like that. And then if I want just my Flodesk handle to go to this page, I can turn that on here as well. But for this example, I am not going to do that. So that is our full setup panel right there. So now we're going to move on to actually building this. Before I do that, though, I'm going to check the chat real quick. Yes, Nikki, you can collect address. I'm going to show you how to do that shortly. Terry, yes, you can connect Flowdesk to ThriveCart. We released a direct integration a couple weeks ago. It is beautiful. Awesome. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to design this template here, okay? Now, just like an email, everything is built in blocks. So you see how I hover over it, it hovers over the block right here. The only difference is it actually says add block instead of a plus sign. Now, like emails, every block has unique options to it, okay? Not every block has a button, not every block has an image, not every block has whatever it is that you might be looking for. So you're gonna kind of go through there and find out which blocks you love to use, okay? If I want to delete a block, I simply hover over it and click the trash can. If I wanna move it, I can use the arrows or I can drag and drop it. If I wanna duplicate, I can do so right there. And then if I wanna go to the block settings, I can click on that, which I'm already in here. Now, if I wanna add a block, you can click on the ad block option and you'll see this pop-up window. And guys, checkout has some of the most beautiful layout blocks here. They are so, so beautiful. We have headers, we have text, we have images, we have galleries, lists if you want to do like a checklist or whatever that might be. I love a good list, guys. I'm a list person. You can embed a video. We have different pricing options, and we're going to do one of these that have multiple prices here shortly. Testimonial blocks and my personal favorite, which is a good old countdown timer. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to start designing. Okay, so my brand is Tech Savvy Creative. We're going to come in here and we're just going to get to work. Okay, so I have all of my copy. Guys, I made this whole page today. So I didn't have to make up the copy. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm going to change the background color. We're going to come in here. I want to edit this header block, so I'm simply going to click the header block. I already have my brand fonts in here, so I'm going to go ahead and tackle that. There we go. We'll go heavy. I'm going to go black. I can come in here. I can change the alignment. I can change the title case if I want it to be all lowercase title case, uppercase, or no case at all. I can also change the spacing. If I come over here to the block setting, I will be able to see the settings for this particular block. Okay. So I can add a paragraph. I can add the title. There's that. I can add or remove the image. I can add a CTA button. So I'm going to keep that CTA button here. There's my background. If I want to change the padding right there at the top, I can do so right there and just get to customizing. So I'm going to come in here, get my copy. There we go. Pop-ins. I love a good pop-ins. And then I'm going to come edit my button. I'm going to say join the club. Okay, I'm going to use my coral. And that red is rough though. We're going to come in here and we're going to adjust that to Arca. There we go. Beautiful. Now, in checkout, really important, guys. Okay. Yes, Terry, brand fonts do work in checkout because it's a URL, it's a browser-based thing. They do work. Now, not all buttons and emails will work with custom fonts because not all email inboxes render custom fonts in a button. Okay, I'm gonna come back in here. I'm gonna adjust this real quick. Now, whenever we have a button, so this is unique to checkout. At this time, at this point in time that you're watching this, it is October of 2025. So if you're watching a replay, this might not be true anymore, but this is at this time, this is the current situation. Um, every button on your sales page and checkout will link to your checkout. Okay, you cannot link it to an external page. You cannot link it to a different checkout. You cannot link it to a page on your website. Okay, all links go to the checkout itself. Okay, which is the part where they collect payment. Now, when you click on the link button here, it's going to ask you, what do you want to link it to? Since we have two payment options, okay? Do we want that button to go to the annual payment or do we want it to go to the monthly payment? Okay, I'll be able to choose that right here. My default subscription is the annual, so I can leave it there or I can manually choose the annual option. I'm going to come in here, click on this. Just like before, I'm going to click on my images and make that adjustment. Looks good. And we're just going to keep on building. I'm going to come on in here. If I want to add a subtitle, I can. See, that's a block setting there. Everything is unique. Each block is unique. So I'm going to come do this. We're going to go black. And I'm going to say, oh, hold on. I have a better copy here. Join now and start sending in style. There we go. Right. That works. Pop-ins. Beautiful. Okay. Catch the drift? We're going to keep going here. Erica, you asked if you can use this to sell live classes and then have it connect to your calendar. So you can use this to collect payment. However, the rest of the admin would be on your side. So you would have to figure that up on your side. We do not currently have a direct integration with Acuity, but I do know some similar platforms are in the works. Good question. So like when I'll show you a couple real life checkouts here in a second. One of I was in a workshop with somebody and she did her is a free workshop and she did it through checkout just like this. And basically what happened was when they signed up, it was free, so they went through the checkout for free, and then they got an email that had like the Zoom link, and they could, go from there. So very similar to like this webinar. So we use Flowdesk for all of our stuff. You sign up for it, and you get sent an email with all of the details, and that's how we host the live classes in here. Nikki, am I right in thinking that there are no additional fees? You are correct. Flowdesk does not have any fees for using Stripe or for using checkout. Only the Stripe fees is what you'll have to worry about, and that's handled by Stripe and dependent on where you are. Good question. Okay. I'm just working my way through this, guys. We're just having a nice chat. I love a good testimonial block here. So here is, again, I have all this copy here, what our members are saying. I'm going to go use my custom font, but it's super easy to customize. I'm just clicking on things. Guys, we're launching a whole dang option here in just a few minutes. I'm going to click on the background of the block to see my block settings, and I can turn off or on the image right here. So do you see that? This one has the unique images for each of the testimonials, and I can also change how many testimonials there are. So I don't want 3, I want 2. I'm going to come in here, click on this. We're going to go to Poppins because I love me a good Poppins. And then I'm going to come over to Arca. Cool. Whoops. Getting all my copy here. Just like that. Shannon, great question. Yes. So the question is, how do I make sure I'm not still supplying somebody that canceled their thing? Yes, you will get a notification. Also, if they are part of a subscription and they cancel, they will be removed from that segment. So you'll get a notification and they will be removed from that segment that they were added to. Okay, I don't want to use this block. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. Let's pick a new one, guys. Okay, I'm going to click add block. I'm going to image gallery. I like this phone one. This phone one's pretty fun. I'm going to click. I have images ready from my actual emails. Guys, we are rolling. 2, 3. There we go. See how easy this is? Like, look at that, guys. So easy. And y'all, I love a lot of website builders. There's some incredible website builders out there. This is way faster. This is so much faster. Okay, so I have a couple extra line blocks here. I'm going to go ahead and remove these. And then I'm going to change the color of this one. And this is our last block, guys. We're done. We are done after this. Shannon, can you give some examples of subscriptions that are not newsletters? Um, for example, check out and agree. So the some examples. We have people use it for newsletters. That is definitely an option. Templates, like what I'm sending right now, this is a very common one. We see a lot of people like offer templates. They deliver them via email. I also had one of our partners that created a Slack community. She has a online coaching where you get added to a Slack channel. And then what she did for that was in Zapier, if you're added to the segment for this this product right here, then they add them to the channel in Zapier. So that's how that's handled. We don't have direct integrations yet, but we have a business development team that is constantly looking at new integrations. So if you have any integration requests that you want to see, make sure you're adding that to updates.flodesk.com because our team is constantly watching that. I am part of the product team and we have meetings regularly to review what is on there and what the comments are saying. So if you guys have things to add, please add them there because we do take that very seriously. I love this block because it has the two. Okay, so now we've made it to here. So one thing I want to show you here is the payment block with the two options, okay? So because we have the monthly option and we have the annual option, we are going to make sure that these buttons are aligned to the correct option, okay? So obviously our best value is the $200 a year. I'm going to change this year and we're going to change the font. Go black. I don't need these down here. Oh, I'm just going to delete it right here. I can add up to 3 if I want to because there are 3 possible options. I'm going to come in here just like that. We're going to adjust the buttons really quick. Here we go. Make sure it all looks exactly how I want it to. Arca. There we go. Now, I want this button right here, this sign up button for the $200 a year. So I can say like go annual, go or let's say join yearly. Is that what I call it? I call it yearly. Yearly. There we go. Okay, I'm going to click on that and then click on link. And I want this button to go to the annual payment. Okay, this one I can say join monthly. Okay, this button I want to link to the monthly payment. Okay, you can see that. So if I have 3 options, I can connect each of those buttons to that option so it's automatically selected when I get to the checkout page. And then this is like the little eyebrow. I think we call it a highlight. Yep, if I want to update that, I can do so right here. Ooh, just like that. And I don't like this block, so we're going to delete it. I'm going to add one more block here to finish this out, and then we are done. Join. I'm coming in and clicking on the background. I don't want that paragraph text. I want the button. Background color, we're going to go ahead and make it coral. I'm going to change, oops, get rid of this little title right there. Change it, and we are done. That is it. Ta-da. We just built a whole checkout. Oh my gosh. We just built the whole checkout right there. So we are done with the sales page. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the checkout piece now. Okay. Now this is the experience for your user. They're going to see the sales page whenever they click on join the club or whenever they click on start now, whatever they click, they will be brought over to the checkout page. This is where you're actually going to collect the payment. Okay. Now a couple of really important pieces here. Okay. It is a little hard to find these settings sometimes, okay? You want to click on the background of this checkout right here, okay? Click on the background, and this is where you're going to be able to toggle on or off all of the different options, okay? If you want to toggle on that upsell that we created, this is where we're going to create that, okay? Toggle it on or off here. If you want your logo to be toggled on, you can turn it on here. It's obviously really tiny. We'll make it big, okay? If you want to toggle on your shipping fields, Nikki, if you're still here, here's your shipping fields. Okay, this is where you're going to be able to collect their address so you can ship their information to them. If you want to offer that discount code, remember we did make that discount code. We can go ahead and turn on or off that box. If I want the testimonial to be there that I created earlier, I can go ahead and toggle that on or off here. Terms and conditions can be added right there. And if I need a required terms and conditions checkbox, I can go ahead and add that right there as well. And this will force them to check that before they can make the purchase. Okay, so again, all of those settings, you can find them when you click on the background of your checkout. Okay, now here, once we're done there, everything looks good. Okay. I already set up all of this stuff. If I need to change the pricing or if I need to change anything on this page, I can go ahead and go to the setup and see what those settings look like. We already went through all of that. But now I'm going to go to the delivery page. Now, this is what they see after they make the payment. Okay. Now, you can also send them an email. So you can send them because they're added to that segment, if you want to create a workflow that begins when that segment or when they're added to that segment, you can. You can also use a purchase follow up workflow that connects directly to your checkout. So if they make the purchase, you can send them a follow up email with all of their stuff or just a thank you, whatever that might be. But same thing here. I'm going to click on the background, and this is where I can modify my different sections of this piece here. I can add my logo if I want to. I can add or remove the instructions. So this is the instructions box right there. See how that goes away? I can click on the receipt. I can get rid of the image. If I have the image, I can flip it back and forth if I want to. If I want the order details to be there or to be hidden, I can do that here as well. But very similar experience to the other one or the other pages that we were just on. You simply click and you change all of the information here. You can make adjustments. I'm going to come down here. I want to keep the instructions, but I didn't offer a download. I want to say I'm going to do, it's time to get savvy. And then I have text here. So basically I say I'm gonna click on this. I don't want the button, turn off the button. I'm gonna do the background color for the font, change all of this up. There we go, get to my custom fonts here. Beautiful. And then if I have, so I have the upsell, right? So if they bought the upsell, this is what displays. Same thing here. I can get rid of the image. I can change the header. Do I want the header there or not? And so here I can just simply say like, thank you for joining. Hold on, I have some text over here. And then I can say I'm going to be sending you an email to access your login. So it can be something super simple. You just want to give them next steps, like what they can expect next. But that can all be done here. Now, also, if you have another tool that you want to connect it to, like we talked about some different integrations earlier, you can definitely do that. Zapier is the ultimate place to do that. We also have workflows that are connected directly to checkout, and that will definitely get you started. Okay. Now, one thing I do want to show you, if you are offering a download, so if it's a freebie or a download or whatever, and let's say I put this button back, when you click on this button here, there's a link option. You want to link it to a website. So you want to either take it to a page on your website so they can get the file, or a scheduling page. So we talked about here, can they schedule? They can make the purchase and then you can send them to the link to actually choose a time on your calendar. So you can do that from here. Or if you want to send them directly to their membership community, or if you want to take them to a Google Drive link, whatever that might be, you can link them right there with that button. So that's how you would do that if you're offering something like that, or if you need them to take another step in this process. Okay, there we go. Now, once I'm done here, I simply click publish and my checkout is live. Okay, again, I don't have my Stripe connected to this account, so it's not going to let me publish. But when you click publish, you will see a URL and you will be able to send that away. Send it to whoever you want to send it to. Okay, really quick question. Okay, let me see here. I'm taking a look at the chat real quick. Erica, yeah, it does give you the ability to not have a website. So it's definitely an option. For me and my business, I do have a website. I want to have a little bit more control. So I make more robust pages. So I do that. Now, if you offer different products and people ask how can I do this without a website? Let me show you what I actually do. So in Flowdesk, I created a link in bio form. So I'm going to come over here. Here's my link in bio form. This also generates a URL. It's a full page form. It has their opt-in. They can get there. They can join my newsletter. but I can create up to 10 of these buttons down here. So as I create different products, I can just simply add it to this list and then I can share the link to this page. So then they can choose what product they want to purchase. And then each of these simply goes to that checkout that I just built. And this, again, this is a link in bio form. I can come over here, I can add a link. So I can say, I'll pretend that that's a link. I can say, join the email savvy template, just like that. And then I can link that to that checkout that I just created. No website required. All done here in Flowdesk. Okay, one more thing, guys, and I'm going to open it up for Q&A, and we're going to finish up these questions here. I want to talk really quickly about analytics and what this looks like, okay? So I'm coming back here to my test account. So when you have multiple options and you actually have people making payments, okay? So this is what your checkout page looks like. You can see right here how much money each of your checkouts has made, okay? I can simply click on this little button right here. I can see how many visitors, orders, and total sales. If I want to see the order, the actual orders themselves, I can click on that and get those details. Okay. Same for subscriptions. So if I want to see, I have 3 recurring customers for subscription revenue. I can see what their status is, if it's new, if it's canceled, if it's still going. I can also see each individual transaction. So if they're a monthly, I can see each of those monthly payments right here. Now, also on my analytics tab, I have a checkout section here, okay? Now, I can get a full picture of like my total revenue, my customers, what checkout is performing the best. That one, hold on, let me switch some of these. I can see which percentage of my totals these are coming from. I can see how much money each one of these has made. It's super, super helpful. And if I want to dive into an individual subscriber, I can simply click on their information and then see what they did and when they did it. And if I need to cancel them or if I need to manage their subscription, I can do so by clicking the Manage on Stripe page. There we go. Just a quick overview of our analytics. Guys, I've heard that we have users that are making I've heard that we've hit the million mark. So it's pretty cool. pretty dang cool for some of these. Okay. I'm going to jump into questions here. Can you upload GIFs in the checkout templates? Yes, you can, Sophia. You sure can. So anywhere that there is an image, you will be able to access your image. Oh, can you upload a GIF? Ooh, I don't know. I know you can go to Giphy.
Images, you can upload where you can upload images, you can upload GIFs.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Petra. Petra says yes. She knows everything. You can also access Giphy like that. Ta-da. Well, that one doesn't fit, but yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay. Petra for president. Absolutely. Okay. I'm going to come to the Q&A section first. Guys, if you have a question, drop it in the Q&A. I am now in the Q&A section. Holy moly. Aaron, Petra, new record. They have answered 83 questions. And guys, I feel like every single webinar, it gets crazier and crazier. And so the one question is I need a way to offer a Black Friday sale with a special rate for the first 30, and then the remaining customers get a different rate. Possible? Should be. Okay, let's think about that for a second. Can I limit the quantity in a coupon? No, I cannot limit the quantity in a coupon. So you could turn off the coupon after the first 30. You could also create a limited, like when you do your product, you could say there's only 30 available. And then after that, when you use a different checkout, like, oh, sold out, like here is the link to buy the next one. That's probably how I would do that. Okay. Oh, I see a real life example. I have link, guys. I have links. I went stalking people today. This first one is my dear friend. Her name is Molly. Molly is incredible. So she sells all of her products on checkout. They are incredible. This is one of her checkout pages where she offers coaching. This is a workshop. Very beautiful. One of my favorite. Molly is actually who did uses it for freebies as well. She did our workshop together. Her and I did a workshop, and it was a really beautiful checkout that she created. I'm going to show you another one here. This one, her name is Lindsay. She sells something called the Beauty Blueprint. This is a checkout as well. Guys, look how pretty that is. I love that. Um, but very cool way to see how very similar examples can be, or different users are using the same thing. And there's also another inside the square. She sells Squarespace, resources, which is really cool, right here in Flodesk Checkout. So a couple of examples, very cool. But yeah, does that answer that one? Okay. Cool. Um, could I use checkout rather than Thrivecart? It's totally up to you, Sarah. I would say, different. They both have different options. For me, I've actually been using Thrivecart longer than Flowdesk has been around. So I have been on Thrivecart for many years. I have not made the move yet. Flowdesk will be releasing sales tax capabilities later this year. That's the thing that I personally am waiting for. Once sales tax is here, game on. Okay. Lonnie, yes, I know. Trust me, the checkout team hears from me a lot about it. Um, can you help me with a use case? Sure. So one of the we have a question is like what is the use case for somebody with checkout and okay, so it totally depends on what your current situation is with your setup, your business, and all of that stuff. If you have a platform, like let's say you're paying for another storefront platform every month, like this is an alternative option. So for me, like I have a very robust website. When I am building checkouts for myself, I go to the checkout only option and I build the robust page on my website still. But then the links on that page that say like buy now, I link them to this. This is how they actually send the payment. This is how they go through the checkout and the delivery process on Flowdesk, and it puts all that information into Flowdesk. So that eliminates the need for me to have another storefront like a Shopify or a Thrivecart or whatever. I can use this instead. But if you have a setup that's working for you, I'm a big believer in if you'll use it, like that's the best tool for you. But this does have our unlimited is going away here soon, and you have the ability to add unlimited checkouts to your plan by the end of November, and you maintain those unlimited checkouts moving forward. Okay. So a question is, I have a course on social media through Teachable. If I want to use checkouts through Flowdesk, would you recommend that I switch the course to Canva and then the checkout essentially gives them access to the presentation after checking out? Or or take the checkout part of Teachable? How does everyone else do this? This is totally up to you how you want to do this. Do you want to deliver it that way? I mean, Teachable is a really great platform. So I know what some people do is they created a Zap through Zapier. And when somebody is added to the segment for this product, they are simply zapped into that course on Teachable. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm scrolling through these questions. There's still 19 of them in here. Okay. So here's a question. Nikki, I'm thinking of using Flowdesk to sell 6 or 12 month memberships for my course. Um, and then that's a part of Circle. So yeah, you would use Zapier for that integration currently. Again, please make sure you're requesting Circle and on both sides, on our side and the Circle side, so we know to talk to them. If I have a 12-month or a 6-month option, will I need two separate pages? Now, I guess Nikki, the follow-up question is like, do they get kicked out after the 6 month? Like, is that 12-month payment or is that 12 months of the membership? Because payment plans might do that for you here soon. But if they're actually like you need to remove, well, I don't know if it truly matters because you would have to remove them manually on Circle. Um, if you have two different options or packages, you'd essentially create two different checkouts for that. Okay, guys, we only got 1 minute left. I'm scrolling through these really quickly. Ah, okay. Oh my gosh. Aaron, Petra, you guys answered 104 questions. Okay. Let me check one more time. Amy, you had a question about re-downloading a product that they've purchased. What I recommend doing is sending the product also via a workflow email. So they have that download in their email as well. And if you need to resend that email, you can, duplicate that email and send it to them as well. All right, guys, it is 2 o'clock. Again, I will be sending this out. I'm still scrolling through all of these questions, y'all. This chat is wild. If you ever need any additional help, okay, our support team is here for you. They are incredible. Please join the Flowdesk Insider Facebook group. You will get to hang out with Petra. She is incredible. She is our superhero here. If you have any other questions, you want some additional help, you can reach out to support@flowdesk.com. But please also check out the Help Center. Our team does an incredible job talking about these scenarios and a lot of these questions. So please make sure that you check out the Help Center as well. I'll be notifying you of new workshops coming up here soon. We're going to have one on segmentation later in November, and I hope to see you all there. Thank you again so much for joining me. Check out that Help Center, email our support team, join the Flowdesk Insiders Facebook group to get your extra questions answered. Thank you. Thank you again. Bye, everybody.